years ago, we talked to Tom Moore, then at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator. You got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose, and it's alive.
I have never seen this before in my life.
You've all seen it. The single worst, yet funniest thing that's ever happened in the NFL. This took place on Thanksgiving 2012, cementing his legacy forever as Mr. Butt Fumble, which is unfair. Even though Mark Sanchez made that horrific play, he still holds a variety of legit NFL records. And he also helped orchestrate one of the most improbable 2-year runs in NFL history.
Walked off the field here December 6th, and he actually said his first thought was, I just want one more shot. Sanchez to the end zone over Arrington, and touchdown New York City. The Jets are going to go to the AFC Championship game.
So I want to thank SeatGeek for making this video possible. Look, football season's winding down, and it may be hard to get tickets. And SeatGeek is an app that puts tickets from all over the web in one area, which makes buying simple. They rate these deals on a scale of 1 to 100, with the higher the number, the better the deal. And if you use my promo code KTO at checkout, you can get $20 off your first purchase. So just go ahead and click the link in the description. Come on, you don't want to lose out on cheap tickets. In 8th grade, Mark Sanchez had a desire to start to play football, but didn't know what position to play. By the end of his junior year, he was one of the most hyped up recruits in the country. He would sign with USC, the hot spot for blue chip quarterbacks during the 2000s. With guys like Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, and John David Booty, it was time for him to create his legacy. When he finally got the starting job, he led USC to the Rose Bowl and won the game's MVP. He would then declare for the NFL after his junior season. The two big names after the combine were Matt Stafford and Mark Sanchez.
The New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
After the brief 1-year stint with veteran Brett Favre, the reins were handed over to Sanchez, becoming the first rookie starter in the history of the franchise. This would be the first season that Rex Ryan was a head coach in the NFL. His defense was ruthless, but their rookie quarterback struggled. They started the season 3-0, but then their season began falling apart.
They are 1-5 since that 3-0 start. For the Jets, though, this all comes down to what Mark Sanchez can do, because that was a big part of the beginning part of this season, and he has struggled since then.
Jets call a timeout for one last throw.
At the time, they were 4-6. The Jets were closer to last than first. A shot at the playoffs seemed all but likely. If they wanted a chance, they would have to win at least 5 of their next 6 games. Well, that's exactly what they did.
Sanchez and the Jets stay alive and go home to face the Bengals with a chance to go to the postseason next week.
And after blowing out the Bengals in their final regular season game, the Jets had secured the last wild-card spot, becoming one of the biggest stories in the NFL.
Darrell, how do you explain how a team left for playoff dead at 7-7 has pulled this off and what this means to you guys?
We just stuck together, you know. We always knew it was a chance out there for us.
To start off the playoffs, they got an immediate rematch with Cincinnati and got the best of them twice and beat them on their own home field. This was already a great story. The underdog all season, somehow making it to the playoffs and then winning a game on the road. But that was the Bengals. That was nothing compared to the Chargers. There was just no way they go into San Diego and win that game.
Rolling out, looking, now throws, and he's got the touchdown to Dustin Keller, and the Jets take the lead. Going to Jones. Jones has the first down, and the Jets are now on their way to Indianapolis.
We talked about it. Yep. We already know what's going to be written, right? Yes. Yep. 3 home teams advance, and the
Mark Sanchez was only the second rookie ever to start 2-0 in the playoffs, but it all fell apart against the Colts. They did end the Colts' huge regular season winning streak just weeks before, but playing on the road against the Colts in the playoffs, they were too good. 2010. This team had life. And after bringing a few free agents, including LaDainian Tomlinson, this team was geared up for another run. And after starting 9-2, the Jets seemed like a Super Bowl contender. Then they were quickly put in their place when they went to Foxborough. Throughout the year, Mark Sanchez had massively improved. He had multiple big games throughout the season, a couple 300-yarders, he threw 3 touchdowns multiple times, he had led 4 fourth-quarter comebacks and 6 game-winning drives throughout 2010.
Sanchez, corner of the end zone.
But in his short career when he played in New England, he was horrible. The Jets would finish 11-5, which was very respectable. Yet, they were still stuck playing on the road in the wild card once again.
Sanchez starts by hitting Edwards. Sanchez slings it to the outside. That's a good. Nick Folk.
For their next game, for Mark Sanchez, it was probably the last place on earth that he wanted to play.
Jets, Patriots. Patriots win the toss. Sanchez, in his career, 2 games up here, 1 touchdown, 7 interceptions. Second and goal. Throw it to Tomlinson, and he is in for the touchdown. Edwards has him at the 5, and Edwards takes a couple of Patriots in with a touchdown, New York. 3rd down snap. Sanchez to the end zone over Arrington, and touchdown, New York City. A kneel down to make it official. Both number 1 seeds go out this weekend, Atlanta and New England. This one's a shocker.
At this point in his career, Mark Sanchez on the road in the playoffs was 4-1. That's absurd. After throwing for nearly 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, Mark Sanchez had clapped back at New England in Foxborough, a moment that Jets fans will cherish forever. The magical 2-year run would come to an end the following week. They ended up losing to Pittsburgh. But to look at what the Jets did, it was something special. With Revis Island and this stout defense, and just this whole team coming up big on the road multiple times, yet the quarterback through it all is one of the most laughed at players of all time. Did Mark Sanchez live up to the hype out of college? No. But he does hold a variety of franchise and NFL records. He's also tied for the 3rd most road wins in playoff history, which played a major part in pulling off 2 improbable playoff runs. So just remember one thing. This guy beat Peyton Manning and Tom Brady on the road in the playoffs.
Life is good when you're the quarterback of the New York Jets and you can eat a hot dog on the sideline.
During the last TV timeout, Mark Sanchez is trying his best to hide a hot dog and eat it